Nicola, what training and what techniques and coping mechanisms do you find to help the team the most deal with some of the trickiest situations?
The world is in shock. Just moments ago, the royal family confirmed devastating news about Prince William, and it's left millions of people heartbroken. The future king, a man admired for his strength, grace, and sense of duty, now faces a moment that no one saw coming. For years, Prince William has carried the weight of the crown before even wearing it, the pressure of tradition, the pain of public scrutiny, and the responsibility of preserving the legacy of his late mother. Princess Diana, through every storm, he stood tall, loyal, dignified, and calm. But behind those royal smiles, there has always been a man silently battling the demands of a life he never chose. Now, with this latest announcement from Buckingham Palace, questions are being asked across the globe. What happened to Prince William? Why is the royal family speaking out now? And what does this mean for the future of the monarchy? Insiders say this news marks one of the most emotional moments in royal history, one that could change everything we thought we knew about the next King of England. As the world reacts in disbelief, one thing is certain: behind the palace gates, something heartbreaking is unfolding. And for Prince William, life may never be the same again. From the moment he was born, Prince William's life was never truly his own. As the first son of King Charles III and the beloved Princess Diana, he entered the world with the eyes of a nation and the weight of destiny upon his shoulders. Every step, every smile, every word he spoke was watched, recorded, and judged. He wasn't just a child. He was a symbol of the monarchy's future. But behind the polished royal image, William's journey has been one of constant pressure. From his earliest days at Kensington Palace to his time at Eton, the expectations placed upon him were immense. His childhood was split between royal duty and personal pain, the life of a young boy who longed for normalcy but could never escape the shadow of the crown. Then came the tragedy that would define him forever. The sudden loss of his mother, Princess Diana. At just 15 years old, William was forced to walk behind her coffin as the world mourned. Millions watched him hold back tears, embodying royal composure while his heart broke in silence. That single image became one of the most haunting in modern royal history. Since that day, Prince William has carried two legacies: his father's monarchy and his mother's humanity. He grew into a man determined to honor both. His marriage to Catherine Middleton brought hope and renewal to the royal family. Together, they became symbols of stability, love, and modern royal values. But even amid that happiness, William has often spoken of the toll that royal life can take. As he grew older, the quiet burdens became heavier. The endless public appearances, the scrutiny of the media, and the constant comparisons to his parents began to wear him down. Insiders have said that William often retreats into silence after public engagements, exhausted, emotionally drained, and longing for a life of privacy that can never be his. Being the heir to the British throne is not a privilege. It is a responsibility that demands everything. Every decision he makes is political. Every expression is analyzed. And behind every smile there is the unspoken awareness that one day he will inherit not just a crown, but the enormous duty of leading a nation. Even his closest friends admit that William struggles with the conflict between duty and personal freedom. He has always wanted to protect his family, to give his children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, the kind of childhood he never had. Yet at the same time, he knows that the cycle of royal life will one day claim them too. And now, with the latest news from Buckingham Palace sending shockwaves through the world, the weight on William's shoulders has grown heavier than ever. The man who was born to lead now faces one of the most difficult and heartbreaking moments of his life. For decades, he has been the royal family's symbol of strength, calm, composed, and ready. But even the strongest hearts can break under too much pressure. This is not just the story of a prince. It's the story of a man who has given his life to duty, and who now stands at a painful crossroads between the life he was born into and the peace he's always longed for. For years, the world has admired Prince William's composure, the calm, measured way he carries himself in public. But those who know him best say that behind the palace walls, he is a man who has endured an unimaginable emotional burden. The latest heartbreaking announcement from the royal family has only confirmed what insiders have whispered for years, that the pressures of royal life have taken a quiet but devastating toll. Since stepping further into the spotlight as heir apparent, William's responsibilities have multiplied. With King Charles's health under constant speculation and the monarchy facing growing criticism, William has become the silent backbone of the royal family. Yet, while he maintains a calm exterior, the strain behind the scenes has grown heavier with each passing year. Those close to him describe nights of sleepless worry, long hours spent poring over official duties, while still trying to be a present husband and father. He's a man torn between two worlds, one of royal expectation and another of personal longing. He's carrying more than people realize, a former royal aide once revealed. Every decision, every headline, it all lands on his shoulders. But perhaps the most painful part of William's story is how much history seems to be repeating itself. The constant intrusion by the media, the relentless speculation about his family, and the criticism of his wife Catherine have reignited memories of what his mother once endured. For William, those echoes of the past are unbearable. He's determined to protect his family from the same public torment that claimed Princess Diana's peace, but it's a battle he can't always win. Behind closed doors, William's sense of duty often clashes with his need for privacy. The palace life that demands perfection leaves little room for emotion. He's been raised to keep composure, to never falter, to never reveal pain, even when it's overwhelming. But those close to him say that in private moments his mask slips. He worries constantly about the future, not just for himself, but for his children, who will one day inherit the same pressures. The devastating news announced by the royal family has only deepened these fears. While details remain closely guarded, sources say that it has brought the future of the monarchy into question and forced William to confront his greatest challenge yet. In recent months, the prince has appeared more reflective, his smiles fewer, his expressions heavier. During recent appearances, royal watchers noticed his subdued demeanor, the quiet sadness in his eyes. He still fulfills every duty, every handshake, every ceremony, but the spark that once defined him seems dimmed. Some insiders suggest that the immense weight of royal responsibility has finally taken its toll on his mental and emotional well-being. "He's human," one close friend said. "He's been holding it together for decades, but even William has limits." Through it all, Catherine has remained his rock, quietly supporting her husband through every storm. Yet, even she has faced her own battles under the glare of royal life. Together, they have stood united, but the cracks of strain are impossible to ignore. For the public, he remains the image of strength, the dignified prince who will one day be king. But behind palace doors, he's a man wrestling with grief, pressure, and the heavy shadow of destiny. The breaking point, it seems, has finally come. And as the royal family confirms their devastating announcement, one thing is heartbreakingly clear: even a prince can only carry so much before the burden becomes too great to bear. Behind every great man stands a pillar of strength. And for Prince William, that pillar has always been Catherine, the Princess of Wales. To the world, she is graceful, elegant, and unshakably composed. But those close to the royal couple know that Catherine, too, has quietly carried her share of heartbreak. When she married into the royal family, Catherine understood that her life would never again be private. From her first day as a royal, every outfit, every gesture, every expression was analyzed by the press. Yet she handled it all with remarkable poise, becoming one of the most beloved members of the monarchy. But beneath that perfect image lies a woman who has endured the same pressures that once broke Princess Diana. Over the past few years, Catherine has faced relentless scrutiny, from media attacks to health concerns to the endless speculation about her marriage and role within the monarchy. Insiders say that she and William have leaned on each other through sleepless nights, personal losses, and the overwhelming pressure to keep the royal image intact. Their bond, built on love and respect, has been tested time and again, but it remains their greatest source of strength. Recently, however, royal watchers have noticed a visible change in Catherine. Her public appearances have grown fewer, her expressions softer, her demeanor more fragile. While the palace remains silent about the full truth, those close to the couple suggest that the strain of recent events, including the devastating news surrounding William, has deeply affected her. The couple's shared struggles have once again drawn painful parallels to William's parents, King Charles and Princess Diana. History, it seems, has a cruel way of repeating itself. William, like his mother, has been forced to confront unbearable emotional pressure under the public eye. And Catherine, like Diana once was, has been left to navigate her pain while protecting her children and preserving her dignity. But through it all, William and Catherine have refused to let the darkness win. They continue to dedicate themselves to their roles, championing mental health awareness, supporting charities, and prioritizing their family above all else. Their mission is clear: to modernize the monarchy and make it more human, more compassionate, and more connected to the people it serves. Yet, the question remains, at what cost? The emotional toll of royal life has become increasingly evident. Insiders describe moments when the couple withdraws completely, choosing to spend time away from the public eye, focusing only on their children. George, Charlotte, and Louis are their light, the reason they keep going, even when the pressure feels unbearable. For Prince William, seeing his wife and family affected by the same kind of pain that once haunted his mother has been heartbreaking. He has often said privately that he would give up everything if it meant protecting them from the darker side of royal life. And now, with the royal family's latest announcement sending shockwaves through the nation, the future feels uncertain. Can William and Catherine carry the burden of the crown without losing themselves in the process? Or will history once again claim another generation of hearts behind palace walls? For now, the couple remains united, standing side by side against the storm, determined to protect their family and preserve the legacy of compassion and humanity that Princess Diana began. But as the world watches and waits, one thing is painfully clear: even the most perfect royal love story is not immune to tragedy. And behind the palace gates, the battle to balance duty and happiness continues, quietly and with breaking hearts. Across the United Kingdom and around the world, an uneasy silence has fallen. The devastating news from Buckingham Palace has left people reeling, a somber reminder that even royalty is not shielded from pain, loss, and the fragility of life. Prince William, the man once seen as the unshakable symbol of hope for the future of the monarchy, now faces a chapter that has changed everything. Crowds have begun to gather outside the palace gates, leaving flowers, cards, and handwritten messages filled with love and sorrow. Many of them grew up watching William transform from a shy young boy mourning his mother to a confident leader ready to inherit the throne. To them, he wasn't just a prince. He was the embodiment of resilience, compassion, and the quiet strength of a generation that believed in something greater. Now, with the heartbreaking news that has gripped the nation, millions are struggling to come to terms with what the royal family has confirmed. Though the palace remains cautious with details, the tone of their message was unmistakably somber, a signal that the future everyone once envisioned may never come to pass in the way they expected. Inside the palace, sources say the atmosphere is heavy with grief. Catherine, ever graceful, has remained close to her husband, shielding their children from the public eye. George, Charlotte, and Louis are said to be surrounded by love and care, though even their young hearts can sense that something has changed. King Charles, too, is said to be deeply affected. Those close to him reveal that he sees this as one of the greatest personal and emotional tests of his reign, watching his eldest son, his heir, face unimaginable challenges that echo the pain of his late wife, Diana. The similarities are haunting, and for Charles, they serve as a painful reminder of the cost of royal duty. But even in the midst of heartbreak, the story of Prince William is not one of defeat, it's one of legacy. Throughout his life, he has carried his mother's torch, ensuring that kindness and empathy remain at the heart of the monarchy. From his work in mental health advocacy to his dedication to the environment and his tireless efforts to modernize the royal family, William has shown that leadership is not about power. It's about purpose. The public response has been overwhelming. Across social media, people from every corner of the world have shared messages of love and support. "We grew up with him," one post reads. "We saw him laugh, cry, and become the man Diana always knew he would be." As the nation mourns and the royal family retreats to process their grief, one truth resonates above all: Prince William's impact will endure. Whether or not he continues his royal duties in the same way, his compassion and strength have left a permanent mark on the hearts of millions. In every life, there comes a moment when legacy becomes greater than the title, when the person behind the crown matters more than the crown itself. For Prince William, that moment has come. He has shown the world that even amidst unimaginable pain, dignity can prevail. His story, one of love, loss, and perseverance, will forever remind us that behind the grandeur of royalty lies a human heart, capable of breaking just like any other. And as the sun sets over Buckingham Palace, the world bows its head, not just in mourning, but in gratitude for a prince who, even in heartbreak, taught us what true strength looks like.